I want to begin by thanking Ms. Hutchinson for her testimony today. We are all in her debt. Our nation is preserved by those who abide by their oaths to our Constitution. Our nation is preserved by those who know the fundamental difference between right and wrong. And I want all Americans to know that what Ms. Hutchinson has done today is not easy. The easy course is to hide from the spotlight, to refuse to come forward, to attempt to downplay or deny what happened. That brings me to a different topic. While our committee has seen many witnesses, including many Republicans, testify fully and forthrightly, this has not been true of every witness. And we have received evidence of one particular practice that raises significant concern. Our committee commonly asks witnesses connected to Mr. Trump's administration or campaign whether they've been contacted by any of their former colleagues or anyone else who attempted to influence or impact their testimony. Without identifying any of the individuals involved, let me show you a couple of samples of answers we received to this question. First, here's how one witness described phone calls from people interested in that witness's testimony. Quote, "What they said to me is, as long as I continue to be a team player, they know I'm on the right team. I'm doing the right thing. I'm protecting who I need to protect. You know I'll continue to stay in good graces in Trump world."
It's like a fucking shitty mob boss, dude. As long as you're protecting who you need to protect while being a witness to a fucking congressional inquiry.
And they have reminded me a couple of times that Trump does read transcripts. And just keep that in mind as I proceed through my interviews with the committee.
This is witness tampering. This is unambiguously a crime. This is witness tampering right here. This is a threat. There's absolutely no ambiguity to this at all, 0%. This is witness tampering.
Here's another sample in a different context. This is a call received by one of our witnesses. Quote, "A person let me know you have your deposition tomorrow. He wants me to let you know he's thinking about you. He knows you're loyal and you're going to do the right thing when you go in for your deposition."
Jesus Christ.
I think most Americans know that attempting to influence witnesses to testify untruthfully presents very serious concerns. We will be discussing these issues as a committee, carefully considering our next steps. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
What does that mean? That had better mean something. If that means something, then listen, okay? If that ends up meaning something, then I'm here for this shit.
I yield back.
Gentlewoman yields back. Ms. Hutchinson, thank you. Thank you for doing your patriotic duty and helping the American people get a complete understanding of January 6th and its causes. Thank you for your courage in testifying here today. You have the gratitude of this committee and your country. I know it wasn't easy to sit here today and answer these questions, but after hearing your testimony in all its candor and detail, I want to speak directly to the handful of witnesses.
I'm sorry, I'm blown away by this. Generally, witness tampering is something that you do when you can get away with it. But this is like just obvious. They did it with a phone call that you can have recordings of. You can just have that shit on a voicemail. Again, I'm not some legal expert or whatever, but witness tampering, like, the gold standard of witness tampering is like trying to intimidate a juror or a witness or, like anything like that, right? But like do it in a way it can't come back to you. They just left it there. All's well in Trump world if you protect who you need to protect. Jesus Christ. They've gotten away with everything up to this point. Yeah, it's true. Honestly, like if anything, you can be acting with like just unmitigated confidence. No, fuck it. This is a segment now. Okay? No. Tempest, do what you want. Look, they have been trained. They have been taught that they can get away with anything. What did somebody in chat just say? Where I just saw that. This is worse than Watergate? This is like easily 10 times Watergate. That's not an exaggeration. Not even remotely an exaggeration. This is like every possible level of criminal behavior has been established here. Watergate set a precedent that had monumentous effects on American political discourse. And hey, by the way, it was leading up to prosecution. This is way worse. We have we have it, as proven as it can be, Donald Trump wanting the mob to be armed so they can kill Pence and presumably others. And at every level since then, they have lied and obfuscated to cover their own asses, up to and including witness tampering. Insane. It is easily worse than Watergate. It's frankly, it's incomparable. I think we can safely say it is the biggest constitutional crisis, the biggest political scandal in all of American history, with the exception of the Civil War, the Confederacy seceding. I legitimately believe that outside of that, and I'm including everything, all the crazy shit that happened early on with the Founding Fathers, even Andrew Jackson ignoring the Supreme Court and genociding the Native Americans, in terms of like the total scale of the institutional fuckery going on here, you know, this in terms of what it could mean. You mean even Iran-Contra? I think this is worse than Iran-Contra. Yeah, I do. Because the main problem here, really, isn't just the event itself. It's the fact that everything up to this point has piled on with no real consequences. I would not be saying this if we lived in a sane country and they had all just been arrested right after the fact. If that was the case, listen, if Jan 6 had happened, and then the Justice Department had moved over to Biden on the 20th, you know, and he was like, it's fun time, and the new DOJ had just rounded them up, and we got the whole Trump jail, you know, right there in the Capitol. Fine, you know, I would be saying that this was crazy, but I wouldn't be. The thing that really makes it this crazy is just the fact that it seems like they're going to get away with it. I don't have faith in the Democrats as an institutional force to do anything here, you know? And this is only going to get worse with time, by the way. The next time this happens, because again, all of the Republicans who got cold feet, they only got cold feet for optics reasons. All the people who are frantically texting, you know, we shouldn't do this, we can't let this happen, they're doing it for optics reasons, because they lost faith in the ability for that specific coup attempt to succeed. But they're going to do it again. They're screaming that they're going to do it again. Christ, look at them. Trump, or at least lackeys close to Trump, still feel comfortable enough in their position that they are engaging in witness tampering, leading into the fucking congressional hearing on the coup attempt. They're insanely confident and insanely open in what they're doing. Really, I think that is what elevates it, well beyond Watergate, beyond all this other stuff. It's just the audacity, you know? The audacity and their vulnerability to prosecution, which is being unacted upon by the Democrats. And their abstemiousness will be our death if something doesn't happen, and they will be complicit if nothing happens. This is the easiest slam dunk. You know, I understand that politically it'll be difficult. Will Republicans, you know, say that you're an authoritarian, you're a tyrant, locking up all their political leaders? Maybe they should have chosen non-criminal political leaders. You know, I'm just spitballing ideas here. I'm just throwing ketchup packets at the wall. You know, maybe if they wanted to participate in the democratic process, they should have voted for candidates who, you know, aren't criminal wannabe tyrants. Crazy, right? And I would rather have Republicans bitching and moaning about how their political dreams have been squashed by a tyrannical Biden regime or NATO, FEMA, camp, UN, whatever bullshit they're going to complain about. When they start screaming about how the Jews are taking away their, you know, their political voice, I would rather have to deal with that than deal with what will happen if they win. What do you think's going to be worse? I mean, really, like, oh, we can't arrest all these leaders who are obviously engaging in crimes, like openly, brazenly, unambiguously. Like, we can't arrest them. People will get mad at us for it. Well, they're going to be mad at you either way. You get to choose why they're mad at you. They can be mad at you because you stopped their coup attempt, or they can be mad at you because they think you're on the payroll of George Soros and you're raping their children by wearing panties while having XY chromosomes within a mile radius of their children. That you can choose. They're going to be mad at you no matter what. They're always mad. It's always something. You know, you have chick tracts back in the 1980s where Republicans are screaming about how D&D is turning people into Satanists. These are not irrational people. Sure, there are some rational Republicans, but rationality is highly compartmentalized. Very compartmentalized. Very very contextual. Ben Carson is Ben Carson. He's also a leading neurosurgeon. Just how it is sometimes. Crazy world that we live in. Uh, believe it or not. I don't know. I don't know if anything is going to come of this. I genuinely don't. If it does, you know what? I will give. There's a weird high pitched thing. It was a car squealing. They need their brake pads replaced. Um, I I will give Biden something that I know he personally craves. He will get my kudos. He will get my thanks, my applause. If something gets done about this, I know he wants this. It's a great honor. I will applaud the Democrats. I hate them. You have no idea how much I hate them. At least, God help me, at least the fascists believe in something. The things they believe in are objectively fucking horrible and empirically incorrect in almost every case. But at least, listen, there's a direction they're moving in, it's like you're stuck in the middle of a desert, the sun's baking you. It's 115 degrees, you're going to die if you stand out there for an hour or two. You got Democrats and Republicans, right? And Democrats are just standing there, They're too indecisive to make a move. They look out at the endless plains stretching before them, the sand dunes, rolling across the horizon, and they're thinking, any direction I take a step in could be the wrong one. So I'll make the right choice. I'll do nothing. I'll make no choice at all. And the Republicans, meanwhile, have found a gigantic scorpion nest. And they think that they will wrestle the scorpions and demand from them, instructions on how to arrive at the nearest watering hole. So they dive directly into the scorpion nest, the Republicans. Now, I don't know if I agree with their decision. I do admire the fact that they're willing to move. I wish I could just get the Democrats to summon that energy away from the scorpion pit, you know? Would you prefer Francis Underwood to... I never saw House of Cards. Sorry. This is the most strained metaphor either. Look. I don't... What the fuck are you spamming? Why the fuck are you people spamming? What is this? What? Stop. Shut up. Trump tweets about hearing. There's like 5 links all at once. Oh yeah, the House Judiciary started literal emoji posting. I saw this. That was their star witness. Okay then. Here's Donald Trump on Truth Social. Okay, wait. It goes backwards from here, right? I hardly know who this person, Cassidy Hutchison, is, other than I heard very negative things about her. A total phony and leaker. And when she requested to go with certain others of the team to Florida after my having served a full term in office, I personally turned her request down. She's bad news. Never complained about the crowd. It was massive. Didn't want a request from people with guns who would ever want that, blah, blah. Her fake story that I tried to grab the steering wheel of the White House limousine in order to steer it to the Capitol building is sick and fraudulent, very much like the unselect committee. It's the unhouse unselect dummity. Her story of me throwing food is also false. And why would she have to clean it up? I hardly knew who she was. What? She changed lawyers a couple days ago, and with her story totally changed. Shocker. Cheney conveniently left out the snippet in my speech, go peacefully and patriotically, isn't she disgraceful? There's no cross-examination of this so-called witness. Her body language is that of a total bull artist, fantasy land. Like, he's been mega cope posting. Yeah, misspelled Cheney. Mega cope posting on Truth Social. Absolutely losing it. Yes, thank you, no nothing. Yeah, the House Republicans here, look at how they're tweeting, by the way. It's like Trump took over the Twitter account here. Lame duck Speaker Pelosi's illegitimate political witch hunt once again is caught presenting fake news. When will the lamestream media stop airing this kangaroo court? fake news, sad, you know, blah blah blah. Right, yeah. So basically, like, I will say, illegitimate. I will say that the fact that Trump and some of his close accomplices seem to be having a meltdown over this particular witness, does give me some hope. You know, the fact that she changed lawyers, dropped the GOP appointed one, and like, you know, presented obviously nervous, indicates this is like a good mix up. We'll see if the witness tampering leads to anything. Like, obviously the House, you know, the committee knows who was committing the witness tampering. They just declined to say, um, which is a good tactic, of course, for a couple of reasons.